One of the things I tell people is just show up and just be true to yourself. If you're feeling tired, you are feeling tired. I think a reset for me is what is in the pantry of my life. Do I need this? No, this is expired. Okay, I need more of this. I need bigger of this. I need less of this. So I think that's what I'd call a reset, just calling yourself. And then also there's the element of believing in your own dream. It's not every day that other people will believe in you. I mean, we'll believe in you when it's you're doing well and we're like, yay, and we're celebrating you on LinkedIn.
They want a piece of that.
Yes, but the days when nothing is going on and there's no audience, there's no one to clap for you, you have to be the one to clap for yourself.
Welcome to Moxie Uncut. I'm your host, Jenny Nuccio, social entrepreneur, designer, innovator, and founder of Amani Collective. This season is all about reset. Real stories, the ones that don't make it into the captions. Failure, pivots, burnouts, heartbreaks, and the quiet courage to just begin again. Each week, I sit down with entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers that are building with purpose. We talk about the resets that shaped them, the lessons that they learned the hard way, and the strength that found them on the other side. If you're in a season of rebuilding or redesigning, you're not alone. You're right where you need to be. So let's dig in.
Welcome to the Moxie podcast. We are in the season of reset, and I am thrilled to have Violet here today. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. I'm going to start with, I don't necessarily give a full long bio, but I pick out of your bio the titles. So you have entrepreneur, community builder, you are a host of your own podcast.
Yes.
Career Cruise podcast.
Yes, which you must come to.
Okay, yes. I will invite me. I'm there. Yes. And then, of course, we met because you're the founder and CEO of Networking in Heels, Africa. And so in all of these hats, even in all these hats, what would you say, how would you best describe yourself?
To be very honest, to keep it simple, I just say I'm a butterfly. I love to hop on to the next adventure, but there's some that I've lingered on more than others. That's why you meet me through Networking in Heels and you meet me through the Career Cruise podcast. I like to explore myself, my abilities, my skills, my talent, and anything I feel like, let me check that out. So I'm that kind of a person, and that's how it has been generally.
I think what impressed me most and intrigued me most when I was at your event for Networking in Heels is the community that you've built. There's always a before. So when you started and you're like wanting to even build that, we'll start there. What was your desire and passion to build such a community? Because that community is rare to find. And it's so beautiful to see and feel the energy that you created in that room.
Guys, so when I started off Networking in Heels, I didn't think of a community. So you know how for you build a community, then the product comes. So I did a product, then the community coalesced around it. So it was sort of like, I don't know, that's like cart before the horse before chicken egg situation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So before Networking in Heels ever happened, I was doing a few other things. And one of them happened to be a cleaning services business. And I'd go, like, if I hear there's an event somewhere, I'd like pack up my stack of business cards. And I'd be like, if I see Jenny, if I see Duncan, whoever I see, I must give them my card, business, so that's what I was looking for. But then over time, I'd like, obviously, like talk to people because again, you're not just handing out business cards, you're also trying to hear who these people are. And I noticed that every time I talk to the ladies, I'd hear such mind-blowing things that they're doing. And I'm like, I think I'd want to have a session where these people are and I get to hear them and how they got into these different things that they're doing, because I thought they were doing amazing things. And there's a lady at the time who was supplying Kenya Power with transformers. And someone else was also importing things from Goodwill in the UK to bring them to the country. And of course, I was much younger then. So I just used to wonder, how do you even get to the point where you're doing imports, exports? Like, how do you even get there? Because for me, those are businesses for the older established men and women in society. they weren't looking like people who are in their 20s like myself at the time. And so I said, I want to meet these young people who are doing all these amazing things. I want to meet these people who are, in charge of printing magazines. Like, it was so fascinating for me. And because I was curious about them, I said, can I put them together so I can hear their stories? I may not get them one-on-one, but I want them to tell other people like things are possible. And at the time in Kenya, we were having like the rise of the entrepreneur, the rise of being told you don't have to necessarily go after what you studied in school. You can do a business and that will be your career. So it was really an exciting context of time. I went and I kept on telling my friends, I think I meet very interesting people. I think I should put them together. And someone was like, what would that be like? I'm like, it sounds like an event, but I'd never done an event before. So hence the launch. Yes. And I was just curious. And by the way, it was also with a sneaky plan of, now when they come to me, we do the event, I'll give them my business cards. Because then I am also running a business. So that was really it. But we did the first event, and that must have been in May 2011. And 50 people showed up. I was so shocked, also surprised, also overwhelmed. I expected like 10, 12. And I'm like, and these people who don't know me, I've just put out a Facebook advert. And this is Facebook back then, before it became Meta. So you just put a Facebook, you've not even advertised, you've not even sponsored it. It's just a post and people are like, coming. And they actually show up and I wanted to run away.
The first time is always so scary.
I didn't know what to do with 50 people, and they've all trusted me to come and give them something of importance and give them a space to actually network, place to let their hairs down, a place to listen to good music and have good conversation and, go home, I guess, with having made friends, having made business connections, and having something to look forward to the next time. And so I was 26, I was overwhelmed.
What do you think you learned in that? Because I'm sure, like, I look back at like events or things I've done and I'm like, I see all the faults. And then, so of course we see all the cracks, and then there's beauty that comes through those cracks, similar to that art form. So what did you learn the most maybe about that and yourself? I
think first of all, so this is firstborn energy. It has to be perfect. So I'm very hypercritical of myself, and I really, really nitpick, and it's not healthy. The whole time I was like, oh my God, this is not okay. The band is too loud. The speeches. I did not enjoy myself because I was just uptight and so tense. It might not have come out that way because maybe they're just saying, hi, welcome. But I was falling apart inside. I learned that that's not sustainable. I have to let go and be in that moment. It's happening. So just be in the moment. I mean, you're off the helicopter, the parachute is open. There's nothing you can do except to wait until you land. So you might as well enjoy the views.
I love it. Okay, now launch us into today. We're gonna do a little springboard action.
No problem.
Right, today. But so today, right now, what would you say that what you're best known for, what people know you for today, and what maybe is something you're currently building that maybe you can share? That maybe you can share it. Some people are like, that's a secret, Jenny. I can't share that yet,
No, I'm always building something. So I pivoted from the cleaning services business and focused on networking in Heels. Out of networking in Heels was born an events company. So I do host events. Organize events for corporates and for individuals. Out of that was born me being an MC for events and a moderator. So I've done quite a bit of work around that. Sometimes you get broke. It is what it is. And you polish your CV.
That's a common theme in these podcasts.
And you polish your CV and then you get back into corporates and you like, wow, are my skills even, are they even up to par? And you get into a job and you work at it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the contract just comes to an end because they needed you for a project and you're hoping they'd extend it because you're liking it and you're liking their money. And they're like, no, the funding for this is dried up. So then you have to go back into your original hat of an entrepreneur. And I remember I took a bit of a break that turned into a long hiatus, not even a sabbatical. At the end of 2016, towards the end of 2016, I did an event and I was heavily pregnant. And my son came in January of 2017. So I was like, let me just take a bit of a break and, watch him and everything. A year became two became 3. And 7 years later, I hadn't done anything with networking in Heels. It was just sleeping there, literally sleeping beauty. And that was a bit depressing for me because I was like, oh my God, I could have done so much. But somehow the time just, you blink and your kid is 7 years old. You blink and the time has just gone, and it was kind of eating at me. But at the same time, I was not regretting, because I'm like, but I've actually enjoyed this. There had been so much beauty in my life at that point. And in that time, I had also like started a cookware business. So I was supplying like cups, plates, and setting up little different rooms and staging Airbnbs, etc. So it was really nice. So again, the pivoting, you do this, you do the other. And then now in 2023, December is when now we started now Networking in Heels 2.0, literally. Between that time and now, I've been in different things. But the one thing I'm really currently keen on building is a business in the space of technology. We're always using our mobile phones and they're constantly running out of juice. And I want to be part of the rejuicing people. So there's all these people who are doing portable, rentable mobile power banks. So you just rent it, and, once you're done getting your juice into your phone,
Violet, you threw me for that. I wasn't expecting that answer.
I know.
That's cool.
I know. That's something that I'm building. It's in the really like the research stage. I didn't know there's a lot of licenses required to run such a business. And I'm thinking, hey, do I really want to go into this? I also think about hair and beauty a lot. I'm like, could I go into the hair and beauty space? At the same time, I also recognize I'm mortal. We're here for a small dash of time, maybe 100 years, hopefully. And also the energy is, is not as much as it was when I was 26, 27, 28. So I'm thinking of what can I do now that will be carried on even into future generations, and what can I do that will make me feel, you know what, I did well with the dash I was given. Yeah, between date of birth and date of departure. I just want to do as many things that I can do, of course, without hurting anyone, for the good of all and harm to none. And just to say, like, oh, I wish I could have. No, I don't want to say I wish.
Yeah.
That's why when you invited me, I was like, I'm going.
No, I love it. Well, first of all, I love that in this little dash of our time right now, you just have shared like a perfect example of how that we're multifaceted. Like we can have diversity, we can have different likes, we can do different things. We can pivot in from beauty to tech to emceeing to whatever. Thank you for that, for sharing to the audience that, because I'm like, we can learn and we can adapt to that.
Yeah.
And to me, it also reminds me of just even our theme of like reset, that you can reset and you can then build into something new. And so I'm curious for you, just how you would define reset in your life. Like, what is a definition for that?
I think a reset for me is, maybe you have come across a great success, or you've come across a great failure, or nothing is happening, because again, life doesn't have to be up, down. Sometimes just plateau. And let me use the word boring, for lack of a better word. Although I love boring. Boring is consistent, it's steady, my heart is cool. But yeah, you can actually just come across that and realize, is this really what I want? Could I do more? Could I do less? Is this benefiting me? Is it taking me in direction I want for my life? Is this making me feel like I'm at par with the dream and the fantasy in my mind for my life? Because everybody has their own little, I think if this is happening, then I'm in basically Saint Tropez or Ibiza or something, that will make you feel so happy. And I think it's a point of just calling yourself, taking stock. Let me just use the word taking stock. And seeing what is in the pantry of my life. Do I need this? No, this is expired. Okay, I need more of this. I need bigger of this. I need less of this. So I think that's what I'd call a reset. Just calling yourself to order. And it doesn't have to be a one-time thing. It can be a continuous thing. So maybe you call yourself to a reset in February, and by April you're like, no, I thought I needed that, more of that, but now that I tried it, looks like I have to readjust. So I think it's a continuum. So then we're not focused on, I did a reset 2 years ago and it's cast in stone. Yeah. So I could maybe even daily, because you could meditate and find, okay, that thought that I had was not really an original thought. I need to, or, oh my God, I'm running away from myself or my purpose. So I think it's a continuum.
Yeah. I think finding rhythms to like, again, reset or reflect allows us to stay aligned with our values and is good.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible space that's hosting us. We're here at Africa House in Nairobi, and honestly, it's one of those places that reflects the kind of conversations we love having on this podcast. Africa House is a hidden Nairobi residence that's part art gallery and part cultural space. Africa House exists to champion young African artists and invest in the creative economy. It's also a place where people gather for meaningful conversations, film screenings, and discussions about the issues shaping Africa today. If you're planning an intimate dinner, a creative workshop, a panel discussion, an art exhibition, or any gathering where connection and purpose matter, Africa House is truly worth checking out. You can find them on Instagram or use the contact details in our show notes to learn more about booking the space. And if you're ever in Nairobi, I hope you get the chance to experience it for yourself.
When you look at your journey so far, so even just, I didn't even know like your first event was 2011, which is crazy. And then having like the hiatus. I remember it was so sweet at your event, like your mom was there and just talking about my mom, and we were just talking about being mothers and obviously people in our life that influence us. There's also obviously experiences in our life that influence us.
Yes.
And I'm curious in this journey, maybe the doors that have closed, the no's you've gotten that in the moment were like really hard. But now that you reflect, you're actually like, you can see the path that it led you to, and you're grateful for that. Is there like a time or a story you can share with us, an example where maybe you got a no or a closed door you're happy for now?
Oh gosh, you know when the door bangs in your face, not closing.
It's rough. Yeah, it's rough.
When it's banging in your face, you're like, whoa, you're actually hitting my nose, you know? So it's really terrible. I can think of many doors that have closed for me, and they had to break, and, you know, just use street lingo, character development, but of course in terms of entrepreneurship and life as well. So in the process of doing events, of course you do like a proposal and you send it to various corporations or companies who would actually sponsor or be part of it. And I felt like I was led on, oh, we're going to do this for you. It's going to be like, we're going to give you 2 million. Da, da, da. And it sounds big and nice. And you're like, yes, I've made it, you know. And they're like, yes, sign. Are you signing? And they're not signing.
Yes.
And then like 3 days before the event, they're like, oh, no, we're not able to come through because of this and that. And I'm like, but we've been talking for over 6 months. Why are you changing your mind right now? You come to realize that someone else who is doing something similar to you is friends with the very same people you're talking to, and they hand their friend the business, the opportunity. And while it's understandable, it hurts because you've spent so much time in relationship with them. And for them to hand it over to someone who's just, to you, they've just come in. But again, when you look at the bigger scheme of things, they're friends. And so they end up doing something similar to yours. And it looks like it's successful the one time. But then somehow you come to hear then that, oh, there's a scandal, there's fraud, and people are being investigated. I'm like, oh God, now that would have been me being investigated for fraud.
Yeah.
Because these guys handed their buddy the cash, and because maybe they're going to do other arrangements. I don't know. But now you realize how crazy it would have been, because then that would have torn down my whole entire brand. This person who was given the money to do a similar event like mine, a women's thing like mine, even if they're going to be investigated, they don't have a whole brand that they've built that people know. Because, you know, again, God forbid, knock on wood, if you're saying, oh, networking in Hills involved in a fraud, you know, it's going to take a lot to recover. Exactly. It might actually just sink down the whole entire thing. And so in that moment, I felt very bad because I could have done a lot with 2 million. But then you saved me from a whole PR nightmare, a whole recovery nightmare. And again, trust is very easy to break, especially public trust. So I was like, I suffered that loss, but then in the grand scheme, then the brand is still intact. Yeah,
that's a good story. I think in leadership and anything you're building, trust is essential.
Yes.
And also hurt and betrayal happens. And then you have to figure out who you can trust again and rebuild again and find that community again.
Yeah.
And then also in a journey, it doesn't take just, it doesn't happen tomorrow. It's not an overnight success. That overnight success
Why
that people
not? I want. It's been many years.
Okay,
Can my overnights come today?
but you know that you've built that momentum and that,
Yes.
and you're continuing to build in those
Yes.
yeses. But at the end of the day, even if your overnight came today, you wouldn't call it an overnight success.
It won't be.
right?
Yes,
Because
it
you
won't be.
built all your credibility, all those closed doors. When we can look back, man, yeah, where they slam in your face, they put you head in the pillow after, and you're like, how am I supposed to recover from this?
Exactly.
And then when you look and you see how God protected you in it, and you're like, ooh, like I see you, like you pushed that to the side. Yeah.
Yes, it's hard in the moment because we are mortal and we don't have that visibility beyond the veil to see what really is going on.
Yeah.
And you have to go through the crucible and then realize, okay, that was actually an easier thing than that other one that was going to happen. But man.
Yeah, it can be hard.
Yes.
It can be hard. As a leader, okay, so just in a leader, a lot of people obviously, and especially I would say young women entrepreneurs look up to you and are inspired by you. And what are some advice you can give to them of their journey and just where they're going if they feel tired and kind of, like, can I do this?
So one of the things I tell people is just show up and just be true to yourself. If you're feeling tired, you are feeling tired. There's no reward in trying to look like you're always on. Because, again, pop culture shows that you have to be on and, the 5 a.m. club and what. It's not every day you want to wake up at 5 a.m. and it's okay.
But you're moving your body. I'm just seeing you move your body. I was like, look, Violet sweated today. I see you sweat.
Yes, even today. So you don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock, but you have to have your those minimum irreducibles. Like this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done, and that's it. So everything else doesn't have to fall into a neat little bow, but you have to have momentum every time. Just make sure you're not losing momentum. It doesn't have to be at 100 kph per day. It could be at 10, 20, but you've moved. So the days you cannot run, please walk. The days you cannot walk, please, crawl. But you have to move either way. And then also there's the element of believing in your own dream. It's not every day that other people will believe in you. I mean, we'll believe in you when you're doing well and we're like, yay! And we're celebrating you on LinkedIn.
They want a piece of that.
Yes. But the days when nothing is going on and there's no audience, there's no one to clap for you, you have to be the one to clap for yourself. And finally, please be your own strict mother. Take care of yourself. Your mom forced you to take maybe omega oils or whatever. Force yourself, take care of yourself because you need yourself for tomorrow. The day you're just bored, remember to take care of yourself because you need yourself. So there's something I learned last year that I am my first business partner because everywhere I go, I am there. If I'm in an argument, it's me who's there. I am everywhere I go. So I have to remember that I have to take care of myself because I'm my own business partner. I'm using my brains, my mind, my skills, my talent, my opportunities, my connections in the phone book. So take care of your business partner. Yeah.
I joke with my team that if I could have a miniature version of myself in my pocket, I'd pull it out.
Yes.
And like,
yes.
talk to it.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. Okay, I'm just curious. We're kind of wrapping up here, but I am curious of habits. I love habits and more so rhythms in people's lives and what keeps them grounded because all of us tick differently. We all different need. I am a 5 a.m. clubber.
Love it.
But many people aren't. And so that's a rhythm of mine. So I was like, 5 a.m. club.
Yes,
but I get
go for it.
But I get it. So what is like rhythms in your lives that you have that keep you grounded?
So over time, I've noticed that actually over 20 years now, the moment I wake up, I must say a prayer. Like it could be a silent prayer, it could be a long prayer, a short prayer, but I must say a prayer. It's gratitude for the new day. It's hope. It's expression of what would I like for this day to happen. I'd like something good to happen for me today. I am grateful that I'm even awake. Thank you for counting me in the army of the living, and that actually just brings me to, I'm not in charge of this day. Somebody else was, because I could have gone in the night. People die in their sleep, And the fact that I'm here today, I'm like, thank you. And I pray that something good happens for me today. I pray that a door is opened and traffic is not very bad.
That's
that my tokens last longer, that, my gas lasts longer. So there's all these things that you put hope for. And then across the day also, when you meet people who are kind to you, you say thank you to for that, because it's not every day that you meet kind people. And if something good happens, if somebody says, hey, I'd like you to do this today, that's an opportunity and you're thankful. And don't just say, oh yeah, it has come because I've been putting myself out there. No, other people are putting themselves out there for similar opportunities and nothing is coming through. And even you've had dry days. So when you look like there's showers of blessing coming, so you just operate in gratitude at all times. And for me, that's been a very big deal for me. Could be in the middle of so much mess. I'm like, God, imagine, thank you for this opportunity to grow my faith muscle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true. I think in the mess, like knowing that that's building like faith and resilience in the walkthrough of all of that. So, I'm honored that you're here today. Thank you, Violet, for showing up and just being here.
God,
and
thank you.
I want people to know how they can find you.
Yes.
You do events throughout the years and you have other things going on. So just tell our audience where they can find you and we'll make sure we tag all your information.
Awesome. So my name is Violette Wambua. You can find me on Instagram, all the 3 names, Violette Wambua. LinkedIn as well, TikTok. Let's do a little dance there.
I'm proud of you for being a TikToker. My team is like, I cannot get there, but she is there. So go find her.
Yeah, let's go dance together. I love to read. I love to write. If you have a book club, please invite me. I've missed reading in community. And Jenny, thank you so much for bringing me here. It's also a bit of a reset to actually share my thoughts and just to see, okay, I've come a bit of a way. And I'm happy to share that.
I love it. I love it. Well, everyone, this is Moxie Uncut. And as we know, this is the reset season. It's all about kind of the messy and rebuilding and where we're going. And again, it was a joy that you're here.
Thank you.
And for all of you listening, I'll see you next week. Moxie on.
Thanks for being here with me on Moxie Uncut. If something stayed with you, please pass it on. These stories are meant to be shared. And if you're in a season of rebuilding or becoming, then just keep going. I'll see you here next week.